Think of a movie you love, like Forrest Gump, The Wizard of Oz, the Indiana Jones series, Sound of Music, or Star Wars. Would you love it if those movies, halfway through their struggle, gave up on finding solutions? You know, Dorothy just looks down at Toto and says, forget it, it's too much work. Or Indiana Jones goes, snakes? Nope, I'm out of here. Although I think I'd respond the same way to the snakes. No, we love these movies because they find solutions to their outcome. They fight through the struggle, so we all get the satisfaction of a happy ending. More satisfied than if they hadn't even faced that challenge at all. Well, what about your marriage? Are you willing to deal with those figurative snakes and witches and Darth Vaders that block the path to your happy ending? Are you ready to find solutions to the discord in your marriage? You know, you do have a choice. Every day you can choose to protect your marriage, to honor it, to build it up by finding solutions to those hurts. Or you can choose to let it crumble and be destroyed. Well, James J. Sexton, a divorce lawyer who's helped over 1,000 marriages dissolve, says he's not had one of them say that when they got married, they planned to get a divorce. So I did a Google search on divorce proof your marriage. That was the code I used. There were 32.3 million results. I think this is something that people are talking about. Well, each article contained similar admonitions that require some thought and effort, but they aren't as difficult or costly as filing for divorce. That was something I drew from each one of these articles. You know, when my husband and I faced the marriage crisis over 10 years ago when he confessed his pornography addiction, I had a choice to make. I could stay or I could go. And I needed to think that through. There were a lot of people who would have patted me on the back and said, yeah, I understand, go ahead. I understand why you walked out. And I can't say that that option didn't cross my mind because of the pain and anger and disbelief that threatened to crush me. So when your marriage feels difficult, it's hard to be objective, and it's nearly impossible to see solutions beyond the pain. But you know what? There is a clear path. And I spend my days sharing this with wives who've been betrayed by the person who's vowed to love them forever. These were lessons that I've learned. So I hope that you can find some of these solutions that I'm going to share with you, and you can adopt one or maybe a couple of them to help in your marriage, to bring clarity, relief, and a better life together. So I'm going to give them to you. There's 7 of them. Think about them and pick one today that you might need to apply to your marriage. You know, none of these are magic, but God is stronger than our pain. He won't abandon you, and you won't always feel this way if you're willing to look for a solution. So here's the first one. Pray for your spouse in your marriage. Okay, I know. When you're hurt, this one's tough. But one thing I learned while fighting for my marriage was to pray for my husband. You know, it started out as God change him, because it's what I wanted. But an interesting thing happened as I committed to praying daily for my husband, even though sometimes it was with grit teeth. My heart toward him changed, subtly at first, but every time I asked God to change him, God worked on me. You know, 2 Thessalonians 11 through 12 says, it's just a portion of it, we constantly pray for you, that our God may make you worthy of his calling, and that by his power he might bring to fruition your every desire for goodness and for every deed prompted by faith. The second thing is find one thing to praise about your spouse every day. So often when our marriages are hurting, it's really easy to lose sight of the good things in our spouse, the things that drew us to them. All we see is the pain, the ugliness, the faults, the behaviors, words, and attitudes that drive us crazy. Well, guess what? You make your spouse crazy too. So take time today to shift your perspective, even just a little bit. It'll help. What is one kind, honest word you could speak to your spouse today? Proverbs 12:25 says, anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. Maybe it's time for some kindness. Number 3, we're going to stick with words. Watch your words. Resist the urge to cut, criticize, and wound your spouse in your conversation. Julia Natfulin's article, 9 Signs You're Sabotaging Your Marriage Without Realizing It, says, arguing with your partner is a normal act of being in a relationship. Bringing up a single point of contention over and over again without coming to a compromise or simply agreeing to disagree, however, could your relationship under constant stress? Think about that. Do you enjoy being beat over the head about the same thing? I don't, and neither does your spouse. So stop picking a fight with them. It doesn't mean that you shove the real issues under the rug and pretend like they haven't happened or that you don't have something to resolve. Talk over the issue, come to a resolution, and then move on. And when the next fight comes, which it will, don't bring this last item up. I encourage you to read Ephesians 4:29 through 32. It says, "Do not let any unwholesome words come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it might benefit them. Be kind and compassionate to one another." That's what I want. I think that's what you want too. Number 4, believe the best for and about your spouse. Choose to do this. It's another difficult thing when your marriage is struggling. Think about the last time someone falsely accused you. How did you feel? What did you wish the other person would have believed about you in that moment? Were lies spread about you by the offended party? Did they fail to give you a fair trial? Now look at your spouse and the issues that are causing the problems. Why not put yourself in their shoes for a moment? Is it possible you aren't seeing everything about this situation with accuracy and clarity? Well, perhaps it's time to approach your spouse with the curiosity of a sleuth attempting to solve a mystery. Would some more understanding help you? Remember, you're fighting on the same team. Look at Colossians 3:12 through 14, where it says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you." Number 5, pick your friends wisely. You didn't leave peer pressure when you graduated from high school. It's alive and real in your marriage. Are your friends getting divorced? That's going to affect what you hear and the words that they speak to you. Do you have strong, healthy marriage role models in your life? They will speak truth to you. Whoever you choose to spend the most time with greatly influences your marriage. So pick the type of peer pressure that you want to activate today. Pick what you say carefully as well. When one woman talks negatively about her husband, it's really easy to jump on that bandwagon, isn't it? But what if instead you surround yourself with women who speak in kind, honoring, and respectful terms about their husbands? Are their marriages perfect? Don't be fooled. No, they're not. But women like this choose to shore up their marriages by speaking well of their husbands. And men, you also need to be careful about what you say, using phrases like the little woman, ball and change, the wife, bitch, the old lady. Show disrespect to your wife. If you want to build up your marriage, speak about your wife so well that other men notice. If your friends can't or won't change, maybe it's time to find some new friends. In Psalm 37, verses 29 through 31, it says, "The mouths of the righteous utter wisdom, and their tongues speak what is just." Number 6, have sex regularly. Sex doesn't fix everything in marriage, but it is an indicator of the health of your marriage. Michelle Werner Davis calls this being sex-starved. She says, if your relationship is sex-starved, you or your spouse should re-examine the reasons why it's happening and do whatever it takes to bring back the passion in your marriage. Even if it's slow going in the beginning, you have to start somewhere. Good advice, I think. Sexual intimacy assures your spouse that you find them physically attractive and that you desire to be with them. If you need a little help, read the book of Song of Solomon. It says, "I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine." Number 7, schedule a checkup. Your marriage, like your physical health, needs a regular checkup. You can do this at home, but often it's more effective to do this with a professional coach or therapist. One question you can ask, how well are you telling each other the truth? Are you hiding something from your husband, your spouse, text messages, emails, co-worker relationships, finances, social media accounts? These are all forms of infidelity. So if you answered yes to any of those items, maybe it's time to find someone who's not in your marriage to help you walk through some of these. Any contact, habit, or relationship that draws your attention away from your spouse sabotages your marriage. So one of the healthiest things you can do is get a regular checkup with a professional, neutral party. Colossians 3:8-10 says, do not lie to each other. And it goes on with some more. I encourage you to read the whole thing. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the health of your marriage? How quick are you to find solutions? Now I want you to be honest with yourself, and then take some time to ask your spouse what they think. Schedule some undivided attention for at least 30 minutes. And that means no phones, no TV, computer, no kids, and no kidding around. It's just the two of you having a heart-to-heart conversation that you need. Your marriage is worth the initial awkwardness of the conversation. You need to start divorce-proofing it now and adopt some of these preventative steps. That 30 minutes could save you years of hurt, tens of thousands of dollars, and unspeakable pain for your children. Well, the only way I know to divorce-proof your marriage is to protect it at all costs, both of you. You fighting on the same team, desiring the same outcomes, and searching for better solutions. So if you find yourself struggling with this today and just would like to talk to someone and get a second opinion, someone who's not in your marriage, feel free to hop over to KirstenDSamuel.com. That's KirstenD as in Diane, Samuel, SAMUEL.com. There's a free consultation button up there. And especially if you've been hurt by pornography addiction, by your husband's pornography addiction, I'd love to talk to you and share some of these steps that have helped me move forward toward healing in a brand new, healthy marriage. Whatever your choice is today, I hope you have a great one. Until next time, have a great day.